So hello everyone. This video is about Katphree 3.0. Before talking about the course detail and all, let us talk about our result from Katphree 2.0. So in Katphree 2.0, we had 83 enrollments. Out of that, 12 students scored 99 percentile. Highest is 99.99 from engineer, and from non-engineer 99.93. If I talk about engineer and non-engineer, so 6 engineers scored 99 plus percentile and 6 non-engineers scored 99 plus percentile. Out of this 12 student, only 2 are fresher, rest all are working professional, or it's their second or third attempt of CAT, right? Now, talking about next league, that is obviously 98. So in 98, there are total 10 students who scored 98 plus percentile in CAT 2024, right? I'm talking about next category, that is 97 percentile. So in this, we have total, like calculating all of them, is around 18 people who scored 97 plus percentile. Now in that, in 99 plus percentile club, we have around 11 students who scored 99 plus, with highest as 99.991 something. Fine. So this is all about the result. We had total 83 enrollments, total 2 batches we conducted. First batch we started at Feb. The second one we started in May, right? Now, talking about our course, right? Katphree 3.0, fine. So the fees would be, 12K. Obviously, you would be having this discount if you want to enroll now, right? And this you can pay in 2 installments or at one go, whatever suits you, right? Like one installment if you're gonna deposit now, right? For example, let's suppose you are depositing at 7 Feb, right? The one installment you have to deposit on 7 March, you have to pay on 7th March, right? This will be total fees, including everything, like live classes, mocks, everything, right? You don't have to pay anything extra apart from this, right? No, like course details and all we have written here, live classes with recording. I'll talk about the details from perspective of each, section, quants, DILR and VARC, right? Then I'll talk about the mocks, then I'll talk about the mentorship, what we're gonna provide, how we are different from others, like, okay, anyways. So daily from 9 p.m. onwards, we'll be having the classes. It will be live classes with recording. Classes, obviously, we're gonna start from basics to advanced. Quants will be doing 3 to 4 time revision with 5,000 plus question. DILR 1500 plus set. VRC also same. Plus, there will live mock solving will be included. Even the mocks from CL and IMS, if a particular set or particular question is quite good. If a mock is quite good, right? So we're gonna discuss that as well. And another this thing, you'll be having one-to-one mentorship, 50 plus full length mocks, and all will be included in this particular 12,000 price. Like obviously after discount, whatever category you fall in, either like for example, if you are in the first 15 enrollments, right, so 10% discount would be given to you, right? Plus, if you have, like you have scored 95 to 20% will be given, 90, 15, 85 will be given 10% discount, right? But for the first 15 only, will be providing you 10% discount. This includes all the three, VRC, quants, and DLR, right? Now, talking about the batch strength, the first batch will be only enrolling 40 students. It will be first come, first basis, right? Like 40 students will be filled up, like then we'll close the batch admission and all, right? Classes will start from third week of Feb. Fine. Now let us talk about the details for about each particular section, how we're gonna deal with that. I'll start with quants, then I'll come to DLR, then I'll come to VRC, then I'll come to about the mocks and all, discussion and all. And through that only I'll explain you this one-to-one mentorship part. Right. Fine. So let us talk about the quants. The quants will revise it for you around 4 times. Right, fine. So let us talk about first. Let's suppose we are starting with percentage. Obviously, we're gonna cover every topic, like from arithmetic, from algebra, from number system, from modern maths, and geometry. Right. The sequence would be this: arithmetic, algebra, geometry, number system, then modern maths, right? Now let me talk about arithmetic, right? Then I'll come to, algebra. Obviously, we start from basics, then we'll come to quadratic and all, right? Let us talk about the percentage, how the percentage or how a topic will be taught to you, right? So for this particular percentage or any topic, right, depending on the number of concept what we have to teach you, right? Obviously, concept what I mean to say that formulas, how you can reduce your calculation step, what shortcut you can use, everything will be done in that, right? So, for example, let's suppose about talk about percentage. Okay. So 3 to 4 session would be of percentage. Like each session will be of 45 to 50 minutes, not more than that. We won't be covering a topic, like in a single lecture of 2 hours or 3 hours like that. Because what we feel that is not much, helpful to the student because he will be also tired or he won't be able to understand each and every perspective in that, right? For that reason, we won't be conducting 2 hour long class. We'll be having 45 minute session, 3 to 4 session, depending on the concept what we are teaching, depending on the lengthiness of the chapter, right? Fine. After this particular theory would be covered up, what we're gonna have, we're gonna provide you a sheet. This sheet will have just 20 questions. 20 to 22 questions, like covering each aspect of the question from percentage topic, right? What you need to do, you need to try this question and you need to come to the class. Next class will solve all the 20 questions in the class itself. Fine. All the 20 questions will be solved in the class itself. Right. This particular class is about question solving approach. In this particular class, we'll be able to know how you have to solve the question if it comes from this XYZ topic, right? Once this all will be done, we'll provide you a sheet that will be having around 100 questions. We'll provide you a sheet that will be having around 100 questions, right? Now, this 100 question will be again discussed in the class. By sidewise, we're going to start the other chapter. For example, let's suppose profit loss, then after that average, then after that ratio proportion, after that TSD, time and work, mixture ligation, all this would be conducted, by sidewise. Like once the topic will be done, the sheet discussion will start. By sidewise, we'll start the next chapter as well. Now, in this sheet discussion, this 100 question, this will be discussed in 2 to 3 classes, right? For example, let's suppose today we gave you a target, first 30 question would be discussed, right? What you need to do, just attempt this 30 question, come to the class, like obviously answer key we want to provide you that time itself, when the sheet will be given to you, that time downside will be having the answer key, right? Now in 1 to 30 question, whatever doubts you have, right, you can come to the class, you can open your mic, you can directly ask, sir, I have a question number 5 doubt, question number 6 doubt, question number 8 doubt, whatever doubt you have, right? So that particular doubt will be solved live in the class itself, like it will be explained what procedure had to be done in this particular question, or you are not getting the right answer, something like that, so that will be done in the class, right? Fine. Now, let's suppose you are someone, who already know this particular topic, you are well through it, right? So what you can do, like obviously when you try this 100 question, out of that, you just had 2, 3 doubts, right? Now, obviously it doesn't make sense, come to the class and attend it, right? You can directly text to the mentor or text you to your tutor, ki, sir, mere ko 2, 3 question mein just give me a hint. Like just give me a hint or provide me a solution, right? Whatever will be, required, right? For example, if it can be done with a voice note, the voice note will be sent it. If it's done with, like proper solution and all that will be also sent it, right? Now, this live class, after this live class, let's suppose we had a class at 10 p.m. and that got over at 10:50 or 10:55, right? So, this recording, right, will be uploaded in the drive and you will be having access of all the three drives, for the cons, for the DLR, for the VR, right? You will be having the access. You can do two things. Either you can watch this particular video live. What I mean by saying live, like if you have a good internet connection, so you can directly go in the drive and you can click on the video. So it will be, running at that point of time, right? Or else you can download and you can watch it whenever you find time, like whether you are in office or somewhere else, where internet connection is not that good or you're traveling. That point of time you can download and you can watch it, now, let's suppose you missed the class and you are watching the video solution and again a doubt occurs, like for example, in this particular video solution, a topic was explained, and you did not understood what was done in that particular thing, right? So at that point, what you can do, you can again directly text to the mentor, right? He'll explain you everything, like what has to be done, what not, what has to be covered up and all this thing, right? So this will be a procedure to complete a topic in Quant, right? So we are expecting till May we'll finish the syllabus, right? From May onwards, three things will start. Okay, like one, so three. May three things will start, right? Obviously, our new batch will be introduced, right? So obviously, in that, again, quants would be started, right? So you can cover your, revision part from here. The same thing would be then, theory classes, question solving. But in this particular scenario, again, a sheet will be provided that will be of 100 question, but this 100 question will be different from what you have solved, before, right? This will be different from what you have solved before, right? So this will be second time revision for quants, right? You can attend the classes, for some topics or all the topics, whatever you need to do, right? For example, the one which you want revised, but sheet you should try, right? Fine. Second thing, every day you'll be getting daily targets. What I mean by saying that, 10 question will be provided to you, right? Of mixture of all the topic what has been taught, like obviously full syllabus will be covered up. So this 10 questions will be mixture of all the topics, For that, we're gonna provide you solution on the next day, like detailed solution on the next day. If any doubt occurs, for example, in any question, something like that, you can ask directly to the mentor, you can even ask in the class itself, right? Third thing, every week we're gonna start with two sectional of quants. Right. Now see, there's a difference between how we discuss the sectional and how it is done in other coaching institute, right? Fine. For example, let's suppose we provided you one sectional of quants. Okay. So obviously this will be having 22 questions, right? Now, again, what we expect, just try it out from your side, use time 40 minutes and try it out and come to the class, right? Now in class, all the 22 question will be solved in one go, like for example, from 1 to 22, it will be solved, right? At the end, it will be even told to you okay, how much marks you would have scored in this particular, this paper, right? Like for example, let's suppose 8 to 9 questions were doable, right? And you ended up just with 6 to 7, right? So obviously the question number will be marked. It will be told to you, this particular question you would have done, you would have, uh, scored this particular average marks in this. If you are not able to do that, so connect with us so that we can discuss what need to be done from your side. What need to be improvement has to be done from your side, right? This is what one-to-one mentorship is, right? I'll explain it again, right? After completing DILR and VARC, right? Fine. So this would be done from May onwards. Every week we'll be having two sectional, right? Now from August, the syllabus will be again over, right? So from September onwards, September, October, right? August, September, right? August, mid-August, you can count out from the third week of August till September, right? The third time revision would start, right? Now, this time the revision will be a little bit fast. What I mean to say that, this is usually for the crash course, two topics will be covered once, for example, percentage profit loss will be covered together, right? In this particular scenario, will provide you 50 questions from each topic, for example, from percentage 50, from profit loss 50, and this 50 will be different from what 200 you have solved before, right? Fine. Now, second thing, once this will be done, for example, September, so from October, the last revision of the cons will be conducted. In this particular thing, this will be a little bit faster than the previous one. In this also, we're going to provide you 40, 50 question around, right? So from one topic, you will be getting around 300 question, in sheet solving. This is different from daily targets plus sectional and the mock, what I'll talk about later, right? Fine. This is all about the cons, like everything will be covered 4 times. Obviously, everything will be taught from basics to advanced. If you don't want to attend, basic classes and all, you can skip. You can directly come to the discussion. It's up to you, right? If you know there is a thing you just want to revise, so you can watch the recording in 2x. Again, it is up to you, right? Fine. So this through all these things, everything will be covered. Yeah. For example, if I talk about geometry and algebra, right? So before starting any topic in algebra, for example, let's suppose we are starting politics, right? So before that, polynomial, linear equation, everything will be covered up so that you'll be able to understand the chapter well. That is required here. This is what the basics will be covered up. For example, even if I talk about the geometry, right? Geometry, we won't start directly with the triangle part. First, we'll explain each thing in angle. We're gonna let you know, what is alternate interior angle, the difference between this and all. Then we'll come to triangle, right? And this particular thing, the basics which I'm talking about, right? This will be a little bit slow. The reason behind that is for the people who are very new to the quants, right? So they'll be able to understand each and every aspect. The second thing in quants, what usually happen, what we have seen, from the last 2 year of teaching or from last 2 year of conducting sessions, people know the topic, right? but still they are not able to solve the question in the mock or in the paper. For that particular reason, why we are saying you up all the time, you should try and come to the class, because once you have tried the question, for example, right, when it will be solved in the class, you will be able to understand what was the problem there. What was the reason you were not able to solve that particular question, right? Fine. Plus, if you have any other doubts as well, to even directly text to the mentor, this, I have something, I have attempted this particular mock, I have doubt in this question, can you explain? So it will be done. Don't worry about that, right? Now, this is all about the quants. Now, let's come to the DILR part, right? So, DILR first 2 weeks, we consider it as 2 weeks, right? Basics classes will be conducted. Basics means, like Venn diagram, arrangements, cast slates, circular arrangement, like basic question in that games and tournament, how to approach this question and all that will be taught in this 2 weeks, right? After this 2 weeks will be over, right? For example, let's suppose from the March first week, every week will provide you 3 sheets. Each sheets will have 4 set. So this is just like a sectional of DILR, right? Fine. Now, yeah, this will be different. This 4 set will be solved live in the class. All the 4 set from basic, it will be from the scratch, it will be solved, right? But again, we expect you to try and come to the class. This all this 4 set, you should try and come to the class. Fine. After solving, like you should understand the DILR is never about solving all the sets. It's about selection and solving. Right. So from starting itself, from the starting itself, from the March itself, this selection part will be taught to you. After the 4 set will be solved in the class, it will be told to which set was doable in time limit and which set you should have to avoid, right? So through this, we'll start the DLR part. Plus from March onwards, from the first week onwards, from the first day onwards, every day you'll be getting two puzzle, or we call it as two DLR set for your own practice. Obviously, the solution will be provided the next day. Obviously, detailed solution will be given to provided for this, but this will be continued from March till November. Every day will be getting 2 sets. And again, this will be higher than the mock what you write or what have come in CAT, right? PYQs of CAT will be also covered through sets only, through this particular sheet only. Usually, this particular sheet will be covering out through this, right? Fine. Now, from May onwards, this 3 sheets, one sheet will be like normal sheet, two will be converted into sectionals. Obviously, we're going to provide you portal. From May, you'll be having a portal in which there will be 4 sets. You have to attempt it right. Now, this particular thing, like section again, it will be just discussed as like a quant. All the 4 sets will be solved, and then it will be told to you, bro, like our students, if this particular sectional, you would have solved at least 2 sets, or at least 3 sets were doable, at least 2 sets were doable. If you're not able to do that, so obviously your selection is weak. So obviously we need to work on that. So obviously that will be done in again one-to-one mentorship, right? This is all about DLR. So we are expecting, considering the number of DLR set, right? So for sure we'll touch around 800 plus sets for sure. More than that only. You cannot expect less than that, but more than that only, right? That will be done. Fine. Now talking about the VARC. VARC, though, from the starting day itself, you'll be getting daily target. That will be in two format. Either it will be 2 RC or 1 RC, 4 VA question, right? For example, suppose you got a sheet today in RC, right? Fine. Now, next day solution will be given. When the solution will be provided, first of all, that RC will be explained, like a summary or in easy language, it will be explained. After that, each solution of each question will be given, right? But in the solution, it will be, let's suppose there are 4 options, right? And B is the answer, right? Obviously, that will be mentioned, but it will be explained why A is not the answer, why is B is better answer than other option, like elimination one, why C is not the answer with a full detail explanation. So that if you have take C as your answer, right, you will be able to understand what went wrong from your side. Fine. This is about the daily target that you'll be getting till end, right? That will start from the batch. When the batch will start from the first day itself, you will get all these things, right? Now, VA, the same thing would be done. Yes. Now coming about the classes. So obviously every week you'll be getting 2 sheets of VARC, same in the same format as like what comes in actual CAT, that is 4 RC plus 8 VA question. Now again the discussion will be done. For example, let's suppose RC is discussed, right? The first RC will be explained, after that the question will be solved, in which obviously answer will be told, the same way, why we are not going with B and C or something like that. For let's suppose you have ticked the answer in B and you think B should be the answer, but the answer is C, right? So you will be provided a chance, you can open your mic, you can directly tell ki, sir, I think in this particular perspective, this can be the answer. Then what would happen? The mentor will let you know ki, bhai, why this cannot be the answer. Fine. This is what will be done in the VRC. Through this will be done from May onwards. Obviously, we'll shift to 3 sheets, 2 sectionals, and 1 normal sheet, right, of the VRC part, right. Again, in this, selection will be told to you, see, this is about the student who are weak in VRC. Usually what we tell them up now, like last year also we had many students, like who were weak in VRC. So we never told them to attempt all the 24 questions because that was not possible, right. So what we used to teach them of selection, it's in each sheet. After when discussion is being done, after the discussion, it was told, out of this 4 RC, if you would have attempted this 2 RC, you would have scored this much marks, right? Your marks would be this much, for example, easy or tough and all the selection part, right? That will be taught to you, right? That will be even explained, why we are going with this particular perspective, why we are, solving this one first and all, how selection is being done. It will be done in every section, from quant, from DILR, from every section, like VRC, everything will be done, like in this particular perspective. Now let us talk about the most important part, that is mocks. See, till last year, obviously, we did not had any mocks in the portal format, but this year we are launching. So obviously, we're gonna provide you around 40 plus mocks. Plus, we even tell you to purchase any mock out of CL or IMS. Fine. First, I'll talk about the R mock, then I'll come to the CL and IMS. Why we tell you to purchase that out, right? Fine. Let's suppose this 40 plus mocks, like let's suppose we have obviously this will start from May once the syllabus will be done. Let's suppose in May first week we are discussing first mock, right? Fine. So what it will be told to you, attempt this mock, right? Come to the class. In the class, full mock will be discussed. Like discussion is like solving. In VRC, all the 4 RC plus 8 VA questions, right, will be solved. Fine. DLR as well, all the 4 sets will be solved. Quants, again 22 question will be solved, right? After solving each section, for example, see, it would not be in a single class. For example, for the VARC, the session will be different. For the DILR, the session will be different. For the quant, the session will be different. Different means different timings, like in different class, it will be solved, right? It won't be all together, okay, VARC, then DILR, because you will be also tired if a session of 3 hours will be conducted, right? So individually will be done. But after each section, for example, after VARC, after DILR and all, right, it will be properly told to you, ki how much average marks you would have scored in this particular thing, and how you can increase the marks if you have done this particular thing. For example, your mistakes, what you have made, right? So what will be an advantage? We'll be able to understand, okay, fine, this was the mistake what I did in the paper. Because of this reason, I get less marks in this particular thing. Fine. This would be done for each mock. Each mock will be solved live in the class. Out of that, some mock will be attempted live in the class. Attempt is something, like full mock will be attempted by the mentor in 2 hours, so that you'll get an idea, okay, fine, this how you have to approach the mock, this what the mistakes you are making when you are solving the mock, right? This will be for the mock sectional. We're gonna have around 80 something. Out of that, 50 will be in portal and 30 will be in the PDF format. Right. Again, this will be same solved as it is like mock. All the question will be solved. At the end, it will be told to you which set you would have done before or which set you have done later on and all, right. This would be done, right? Fine. Now coming about IMS or CL mock, but before that, let us talk about the one-to-one mentorship. Right. What differentiates us from others? The reason behind keeping just 40 students in one batch or just 80 students in the whole course is just only because so that we will be able to provide you one-to-one mentorship. If you go on LinkedIn, the result which I'm talking about, right, you're gonna find out the chats. In the chats they are discussing about their mocks in May. Like they have provided us up their mock score, right? After that, we advise them up what steps need to be done so that this mock score can improve, right? This is what one-to-one mentorship, your personal doubts, your queries, whatever it is, right? So you can text the mentor directly, sir, I have this particular query, can you just resolve it out for me? For example, you can come and you can let him know, sir, this is my problem, what I'm actually facing in quant XYZ, like I know the topic, but still I'm not able to solve the problem in the mock, right? So he's gonna advise you what need to be done next. See, this is why I'm telling, because a single strategy cannot be applicable to every student. What we have learned in this particular 2 years, right? Every student is built different. So for every student, different strategy is required, right? So once we know what is your weakest point, right now, for example, when we talk about CL and MS, right? For example, let's suppose you wrote a mock from CL and you share your credentials with us, right? What we're gonna do, we're gonna go through your full mock, we're gonna understand your mistakes, what you're making in that. For example, let's suppose we went through your VRC, what we realized, you are doing silly mistakes. You're choosing the wrong passage, wrong RC or wrong VA questions and all to solve, right? For example, just so what we're gonna do, we're gonna discuss with you, okay, why this is the problem, what you're facing, obviously on the Zoom session or even on text. Like it will be on, whenever time, whenever you wrote the mock. For example, let's suppose you wrote the mock on Tuesday. So Wednesday, so the discussion will be done after the class, right? It will be set, a Zoom session will be connected, and your mock will be fully told ki, bhai, this is the problem what you are doing. Now to improve this, apply this particular step, do this particular step for this particular 2 3 weeks, right? Obviously improvement will come, because once we know what actually problem you are facing, whether it's cons, whether it's DILR, whether it's VRC. For example, you have the capability to score 80 90 marks in mocks, right? You are getting 40 50 marks, right? So how to jump from 40 to 50 to 80 90, right? That will be told. That will be, the methods will be told to you, by this you should apply, this you should do, right? Obviously our mocks will be there, but this CL mocks will be helpful, or this IMS mocks will be helpful, because in our mocks obviously we are providing you the right solution, but how you are performing in other mock, that's what we need to see. So in this one-to-one mentorship, this is what is done. For example, even I told, for example, there is a sheet, for example, DLR 4 sets has to be discussed today, right? I know out of that 4 sets you were able to do 3 sets, and obviously you just had one doubt in one set. You're not able to understand how to proceed with this particular set, or you stuck in some XYZ question solving part, right? So what you can do, you can directly text to the mentor, okay, sir, can you just explain me out this out? So he'll do that, right? For example, let's suppose even from the mentor, a check on will be kept on you, like asking about your scores. You have to update your scores. He'll ask about your scores, whether you have done the sheets or not, what is problem you are facing, and also that will be done, right? It's like and according to that, the strategy will be built up. The reason behind, out of this 83 students, 12 students scored 99 plus percentile, right? With the highest of 99.99 is this one-to-one mentorship. What differentiates? See, whatever the content we are providing you up. Obviously, if I talk about the quants, so that is built by IITians, those who are studying currently in IITs, we hire them up. They build question sets for us for the DILR and for this particular, what we say, quants part, right? So I'm telling our sheet is different. That particular discussion is also different, right? But what will more help you is this one-to-one mentorship. Even if you are starting from scratch right now. See, if you would have come in May and if you're telling I'm starting from scratch and you expect us to tell you, no, 99 percentile is quite possible. So we're going to tell you, no, it's not possible at that point, because you're starting from zero. Try to understand. CAT is something different, in which you have to cover a lot of topic. Engineer, though, we can usually tell, yeah, it is possible. But scratch means you don't know anything. You have not touched maths from last 4 to 5 years, like that, or 3 to 4 years. Till your graduation, you have not touched maths. Even in 12th, 11th, you do not have math, right? So at that perspective, then it is a little bit difficult, But from right onwards, if you're starting from Feb onwards, right, it is quite possible for you, even if you're starting from zero, to make you reach till 99, right? Now, like I'll be very frank, out of this 83, like there are 20 around 20 or 17 18 students are around, who have scored less percentile. What I mean by less percentile, they are in the bracket of 60 to 90, 60 to 90, 83 84 78 also are there, right? So these are those students, either they left the preparation in between, or something, that was not the D-day, like the problem what happened with many of the students, either their computer was not working or something like that, right? But many are there, who were not in touch with us, who did not update their score, they did not write mocks on times and all. That's one of the reason we just had 12 students, right? So my point is again this, obviously we're gonna provide our 100% to it, but it is not like something like that. If you enroll, you'll be getting 99%. I know you have to put efforts from your side as well. You have to solve the sheets, you have to ask your doubts, you have to ask your queries, you have to, write the mocks, you have to make sure that your mock is properly analyzed. Fine. After that, whatever the steps has to be done. For example, just I'm putting a normal thing, for example, suppose in quants, right? In quants, you know the topic, but in mocks, you are not able to solve it. So obviously, there are two problems. Either the question what is coming in mocks, right? You have not solved that level of question till now. Second thing, your speed, right? So if the part of his first one, right? Obviously, what we want to do, we want to tell you by the sheets, but we have provided, solve it again. If you have any query, any question, you can directly ask us. We'll resolve it out, right? Second thing, what we're gonna tell, if speed is a problem, we're gonna tell you ki whenever you are solving any question, like the mixture question of all the 10 question, what we are providing in the daily target, right? Solve with timer. For example, use a timer of 20 minutes, try to solve in that 20 minutes. If it is done, 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, obviously this will improve after a period of time. You have to make a habit, like that. So obviously we're gonna, this will be only able to know when we'll analyze your mock, when you will let us know, okay, this is the problem what you are facing. So according to that, we'll provide you solution and the strategy to work on it, right? This is what is one-to-one mentorship, and it's quite possible because keeping the strength as 40%. Now talking about the enrollments, as I have already told, there will be 40 seats in this particular batch one. Classes will start from third week of Feb. Right now, like basic things are covered up. First basic thing will be covered up. Right. From I guess from March onwards, every day you'll be having two classes. Class timing will be after 9:30 p.m. only. Recording will be provided in the form of drives. Like fine. So total fees is 12,000 for the full course. Obviously, if you are in the first 15 enrollments, so 10% will be provided to you. If you are above 19 or whatever discount we are providing, that will be included in that, right? So this particular fees, let's suppose after discount of 10%, right? You are paying 10,800, right? This is the total fee. So either you can pay at once or either you can pay in two installments, right? Fine. One thing I will clear it out. This does not include ZAT classes. Fine. ZAT classes, GDPI it included, but ZAT classes doesn't include ZAT mocks and classes doesn't include, for example, a minimal fees of 600, 700 will be paid, will be asking, for the DM classes, something like that, right? This will just include CAT, Snap, and NMAT. For Snap and NMAT, obviously, we're going to provide you the mocks plus classes will be conducted for specific sessions. For example, there is logical reasoning, clock, calendar, blood relation, and all. For that, classes will be conducted. Similarly, for the VRC part, also, what is different from CAT, for that, classes will be conducted for NMAT and SNAP. For the ZAT DM part, classes will be conducted, mocks will be also given. But for that, we'll charge you minimal fees. This will include your GDPI, like all the sessions and all. That is later on part, right? But right now, this will just include CAT, NMAT, and SNAP. Fine. Now, whatever I have told about the mocks and everything will be included in this, right? Now, talking about the enrollments, right? This will be the fees. Either you can pay in two installment or you can pay in at once, right? Fine. Now, two installment would be in 2 months. For example, one you are paying right now, the next you can pay next month, right? Now, for registration part, what you can do, call on this number 9205408 right? Either you can call or you can WhatsApp on this number for the registration. But if you have any further queries, directly call to this number. You can ask them, to connect with the mentor. So obviously they're gonna provide you details with the mentor and you can discuss with them, right? Now here your doubts, queries, obviously we'll be having the WhatsApp group. Your doubt and queries will be solved by the mentor itself. You can text him anytime whenever you feel like you have a queries in anything. Classes will be again on Zoom and it will be an interactive one. Interactive means you'll be allowed to speak in the class, you'll be allowed to ask your doubts in the class. Mostly, like the theory classes, more than theory classes will be focusing more on discussion. Obviously in discussion, for example, if you are not able to solve a question, obviously that question will be solved from scratch. But what we expect is at least try and come, because through trying and come you won't be habitual of spoon feeding. Once you don't have a habitual of spoon feeding, this should be done, right? So this year also we are expecting a good result, right? Obviously we will be trying from our side, but yes, an improvement we have seen from the last year and this year. And every this time we are introducing the new thing, that is portal mocks of ours. Obviously we'll be designing it with a level of cat, not that tough. I would not say that tough that will demotivate you, but yes, we'll put it a certain level. We'll start it from May. Fine. And obviously this particular mock, only the student will be allowed. We can, like only the batch student who have enrolled, they will be allowed to write this out. We won't be allowing it to the outside student, right? Regarding the recording part, till last year, we were sharing these things in the group, right? But this year we have introduced a drive thing. Obviously, 3 drives will be made. You will be provided access to that. One will be for the VRC, one will be for the quant, one will be for the DLR part, right? So you'll be having access to that. Either you can watch it online or either you can download and then watch it, right? It up to you. For example, if any queries comes up, you can directly text to the mentor. For registration purpose, you can directly call to this number 9205408 749. Yeah, so 40 students, like once 40 students will be filled, this batch will be closed. Now, next 40 students will be enrolling in May after, the result of the B school will come. IM interviews and all will be out. Then we'll be starting the next batch. And you have any other queries, you can directly text to this number or you can directly do a WhatsApp, like, this is the queries, can you just resolve it out, right? Like that.